Good evening, everyone, and welcome to e-Ananse live reading with me, Venus Tawiah. Today, we're going to celebrate, well, it is Black History Month, and in celebration of Black History Month, I'm going to focus on a story about creating your own magic. I myself am an athlete, a national athlete, on the Ghana national team, and today I'm going to focus on celebrating the Williams sisters, especially Serena Williams, commonly known as the GOAT, the greatest athlete of all times, and not just as a woman, of all times. She's won 23 Grand Slams, amongst other things, other titles. And in September, she formally retired from tennis. So this reading is to celebrate her and her achievements, and also to highlight the many women that we have here in Ghana also, who are championing their space and shining a light and a torch using sports. So I'm going to name a few because I don't think that we really know them. So I start with myself. So Venus Tawiah, I'm a fencer on the Ghana national team, and no, it's not building fences, it's fencing where you use a sword to play or to compete. We have Cleopatra Nketiah, who is the owner of Ridge City football team, and they're doing really great things here in Ghana. One of the champion players is Cecilia Agui, and she's a midfield player who's making great waves and one to watch. Other names within our sports space include Adjoa Bayo, and she was the former captain of the Black Queens. We have those who are up and coming, who are being brave and entering sports where Ghanaians, especially women, have not ventured. And I'll name a few of them because they're ones to watch and you all hear about them. So Fezwa Osman, she's a national boxing athlete. Belinda Ayeli, she's an amateur rugby player. Belinda Serena, she's a golf player and she's doing really great in the space. Claudia Amadi, she's a rock climber. And those are just a few of the athletes that we're growing, female athletes that we're growing in the country. So let's look at the book that I'm going to read. It's called Sisters and Champions, the true story of Venus and Serena Williams, written by Howard Bryant and illustrated by Floyd Cooper. It's really a story about creating your own magic, and I hope it inspires you and any young females out there to do and create your own magic within the space that you're in. No one ever laughed at Richard Williams, at least not in his face. When he told people about Venus and Serena and the special things the two daughters would do, they would wait for him to leave, and then they would laugh because he had said the impossible. The Williams family lived in Compton, a real tough, sometimes scary part of Los Angeles. When Venus and Serena were 4 and 3, Richard brought them tennis rackets, believing tennis treated girls more fairly than other sports. And if his hunch was correct, that his girls would have an athletic advantage that would change the sport forever. Richard didn't know anything about tennis, but that didn't stop him from saying the wildest things. He told everyone his little girls, not one, but both of them, would be champions, and the laughter would start. They laughed because Venus and Serena were black, and black people, they said, weren't supposed to play tennis. They laughed because Venus and Serena weren't rich, and people without money, they said, weren't supposed to to dream so big. They laughed because Venus and Serena came from Compton, and no tennis champions ever came from such a tough neighborhood. They laughed because it was hard enough for one person in a family to become world famous, but the sisters, mum and dad, said differently. They said the sisters were made of a special brown skin and wonderful eyes, of big smiles and bigger hearts, and when it came to tennis, a kind of magic. Just wait, their dad would say, you'll see. The girls were so different from each other. Venus was quiet, competitive, protective, just like a big sister. Serena was forceful, stubborn, and even more competitive, just like a little sister. Yet the sisters were also best friends. When Venus was 12 and Serena 10, the family moved to Florida so the sisters could focus even more on tennis. And soon a whole new group of people was talking about them. Have you heard about them? Tennis fans would gossip. I think the big sister's name is Venus. Everyone says she's the next American superstar. And get this, someone told me her little sister might be even better. Yet not all the talk was friendly. The sisters were different. Their skin was different, their hair was different. Venus was tall, really tall. And the way the sisters hit the ball so hard, like boys, even harder than boys, was different. In many big ways and small, people reminded them of being different every day. Their father wouldn't let his girls play junior tournaments, even though everyone played juniors. He made them focus on school instead. People said Dad was hurting his girls. Dad said he had a plan, that they were a family and families always stick together. And stick together they did. Venus and Serena grew even closer as they outworked all other girls. Every day they would hit 200 balls, then 300, then 500, then 1,000. And each day the sisters would sweat and sweat. Dad painted a sign for them that read, if you fail to prepare properly, you prepare to fail. No one laughed at the girls' fathers anymore because his dream was becoming real. Venus was only 14 years old when she turned professional. In her very first tournament, she almost beat one of the top-ranked players in the world. It would take Venus 4 years to win her first professional tournament. Still a teenager and already a champion. Yet it wasn't just Venus who won. Serena became champion at the very same tournament. How? Venus and Serena played as teammates in doubles tennis. Serena was only 16 years old when the sisters won as partners. Both sisters wanted to be considered the best in the world, though, and for that to happen, only one of them could win in the end. One would have to lose. There was no avoiding it. In 1988, Australian Open was the first time they played against each other as professionals. Big sister Venus won. In Rome and Miami the next year, Venus won again and again. Not until Serena turned 18 did she beat Venus for the first time. The girls became young women. Their parents always said they were special, made of magic and big hearts. Soon the sisters dominated the biggest tennis championships in the world. The Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon and the US. Venus won Wimbledon 5 times and the US Open twice. Serena would win all 4 tournaments in a row and nicknamed it the Serena Slam. The sisters were so good they seemed to lose only to each other. In February 2002, Venus was ranked #1 in the world. 6 months later, it was Serena's turn to be #1. It was the only time in history two sisters or brothers were ranked first and second in the world. Another of their father's dreams had come true. Still, it hurt so much to play against each other. Neither sister wanted to see the other lose. When they competed for championships, Mum and Dad could barely watch. So Venus and Serena continued to play as a doubles team, and if playing one of the sisters was tough, together they were unbeatable. They won all of the major double champions at least twice. They played together for America in the Olympics 4 times, winning 3 gold medals. As partners, they were the best in the world. When Venus began feeling weak, doctors told her she had a disease, one that she would have for the rest of her life. It could appear at any time and steal her energy. People began talking again. Is Venus's career over? Then Serena suffered a foot injury and had problems with her lungs. Doctors said she too might not be able to play tennis anymore. She wound up missing her full year and lost the #1 ranking. People were talking once more. The Williams sisters will never again be champions, they said. But as their parents knew, the sisters had magic in them, and the true magic of Venus and Serena Williams is that they never quit. They never stopped working, and they both returned to play tennis. The year Serena returned to tennis, she won the singles tournament at Wimbledon, and the sisters together again won the doubles championships. Serena continued to win and win and win, almost too many trophies to count, more than any women's tennis player in history. And people were talking again. Now they said Serena was one of the greatest athletes, boy or girl, in history. Maybe the best ever. The Williams sisters have a new magic now. The other little girls with special brown skin, wonderful eyes and big smiles to want to play tennis. Venus and Serena are still best friends. They will always be family, sisters who grew into champions. My first job, Venus says, is big sister, and I take that very seriously. Tennis is just a game, Serena says. Family is forever. And that's the end of the book. I really do hope that it inspires you, whatever you're doing, whatever your passion is, to find your magic within it. And when it gets hard, dig deep, because you know that you'll be able to succeed.